Hey, everybody. Great Monday, great Monday, great Monday evening once again. And welcome to Conversations with Chosen Pen. I am Dr. Anissa Short, and tonight we've got another fantastic guest with us. Unfortunately, we don't have Dr. Norma, but I'm sure she's watching and she sends her love. She will be back soon. So just be on the lookout for the next episode. As a matter of fact, this is our last episode for the month of February. We're going to kick it off in March. We're going to be interviewing women that are making an impact. So you may meet female authors, you may meet female entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches. We have a lot of exciting, phenomenal, beautiful, outstanding personalities waiting to introduce you to in the month of March. But in the meantime, we're going to continue with this conversation that we have going now, which is books you'll love to read. That's our theme in this month of February. And so thank you for joining us each and every previous Monday. As promised, we have another great guest who's going to talk a little bit more about that subject. But before we talk with her and meet her, I want you to mark your calendars for April 27th. April 27th. I think I'm saying that right. That should be a Saturday. As a matter of fact, let me look at my calendar because, you say one thing and you mean something else. But April 27th, yes, that's going to be 21st Century Motherhood. That is another TEDx experience being hosted by Chosen Pen Publishing. But listen, that Saturday is not going to simply be a publishing a TEDx experience, an intimate TEDx experience. It's going to be a salute to motherhood all the way around. We've got a lot of exciting things planned for that day. There will be the discussion of what 21st century motherhood looks like, so you don't want to miss it. But we're planning for vendors. We are planning for a lunch. We want women with their moms, whether it be your biological mother, your godmother, your play mother, your stepmother, your sister, mother friend, whoever she is. We want you to bring her out. This is the afternoon for the ladies. It's going to start at 10 in the morning with a shopportunity hour for you to have an opportunity to meet with the vendors. We're going to have our 21st century conversation about what motherhood looks like in the 21st century. We're going to have a little bit of lunch because we don't want you to pass out. And then while we're having lunch, guess what? We're going to have a fashion show. Yes, we are. That entire time is directly to salute women. 21st century motherhood is the thing. So listen, we are looking for vendors. If you're interested, be sure to contact us at chosenpen.com or either go to Chosen Pen Publishing via Facebook. You can contact me directly to get more information. Tickets are on sale right now at Eventbrite. As a matter of fact, let's just go on over to Eventbrite. You can do everything there. You can buy your ticket to attend. If you want to be a vendor, you can secure your spot. But if you want more information about this fantastic event that's going to be held on Saturday, April 27th, be sure to contact us at Chosen Pen. So you know what? That's enough infomercials for now, because that's not what this is about. We want to meet our guest. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you all Miss Ellen Sutterth. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I've been practicing. Thank you so much, Ellen, for saying yes to the invitation to be here today. Tell everyone a little bit about who you are.
And thanks for inviting me. I am Ellen Sutterth. I am a wife of almost 32 years and 39 years together. 4 grown children, 2 grandsons, one that's in the military, and one we keep close that's a 12-year-old. And that's me in a nutshell.
Now, Miss Ellen, before you were a mom and an awesome wife, I'm sure you were Ellen even still. So tell us a little bit about, do you like ice cream? Do you like walks in the park? Where would you travel if you had the opportunity to travel? Where would you go?
Well, in that case, it's a lot more to me. I am a daughter of a mom who's deaf, came from a family of 11, and I start enjoying books as I became an adult. And also a surprising thing I would say about me is that during the pandemic, I was an emergency teacher for my grandchildren.
Wow. I think there were a lot of emergency teachers hired during the pandemic. So it's like, did you now tell us where you live? Are you in, what state are you from, Miss Sutherth?
I am originally a Chicagoan. I'm from East Chicago Heights, now known as Ford Heights, Illinois, and now reside in Newport News, Virginia.
Okay, great. Well, Miss Queenie Clem, who is one of the first to jump on to say hello, was the one who introduced me to you. Now, what I will say is about Miss Queenie, anyone who's ever come into contact with her who has ever been in her space or who's familiar with her, we know how dedicated and how committed she is into being a champion and celebrating others, especially authors and people in the literary world. So Miss Queenie, I want to say thank you. I know you're watching. Thank you for the connection. Thank you for introducing me to Miss Ellen, because this is a new introduction for us. So let's talk a little bit about what you do in the literary world now. Unlike our guests in previous Mondays, you are not an author, but you are very much an intricate part, a very vital part of the literary world. Tell us a little bit about what you do and the platform that you have.
Thank you so much. What I do is I call it an author interviewer, which is we interview your books. Some people think we're interviewing the author. So what we do in a unique way is we read the author's book. We go into the characters and just kind of have a dialogue specifically on their book. And then another thing we do is we open our doors to newly published. We don't care if you got the book yesterday, it came out of your mind, it's on manuscript, just come. And that's a way that we mash the newly published in the New York Times bestsellers together. I started out as a book club and then started hosting authors. I never imagined that I would start hosting New York Times bestsellers off the gate. So I actually deal with New York Times and mainstream newly published, as well as our baby is those that's newly published.
Okay, so you have, sounds like your platform has evolved over the years. It started one way, but then as a result of being engaged in this work that you do, it has expanded into something even bigger. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go back to a point you made reference to. You said you interview New York Times bestsellers. Now we know that's like the PhD of the literary world when it comes to being bestsellers. I want you to shed a little light, if you will, because I had a conversation, and I want to bring this point, especially to those who are very much new to the literary world. I had a conversation with a person not long ago, and that's their dream. That's what they had on their vision board. They had their book cover created already, and they had placed the label across the New York Times bestseller. But in the course of the conversation with this person, I realized they didn't know much about publishing. And also I knew that based on how they answer questions that I asked, they didn't even know what it took to become a New York Times bestseller. Okay. And then because of some of the decisions they were making, they probably would never attain New York Times bestseller because of the choices they were making with regards to their direction of publishing. Would you be able to share a little bit to those who may not have a clue, just a glimpse in what it would require to even attain that status?
Okay, I'm going to tell them myself, and this is big. Okay.
Okay.
My first New York Times bestseller that I ever dealt with was Victoria Christopher Murray.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea how big she was. And I had no idea what it takes that I need a bookseller. So I'm telling my business because I want to be transparent. So with that, I had no idea. So I had to correct a situation where I had to go get the books and have books there. And I didn't realize that when I got those books, that was my sales. And I'm going, wow. So that's when I realized, Ellen, you have New York Times bestsellers, and some bring their books and some do not. So that was my biggest aha moment, is having Victoria Christopher Murray.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. I know Victoria Christopher Murray. We've actually got Vanessa Miller Pierce. I mean, am I saying that right? Oh no. I feel like I just chopped up her name. She just did Queen America. Let me just digress. I don't want to call out any names because I'm about to just chop up names. But to be a New York Times bestseller is a major accomplishment. A major accomplishment. And the fact that you do the interviews, that has allowed you opportunity to meet the author, even probably before many of us even knew who they were. And some of these authors, is it safe to say, their books have gone on to become, they have evolved or a transition from just being on paper to on the big screen.
Yes, that's when we see I forgot to tell you also, Rashonda Tate Billingsley. So first went on the screen. And also I was with, well, I have to say this, Omar Tyree was the first person that I opened my debut with.
Okay.
Bestseller. So he's doing some things right now. We still have a 16-year plus relationship. And so one of the other ones, Trisha R. Thomas of Napoli Ever After series, So we got a chance to be with her and to see, she was talking about, she allowed me as a small book company, I would say that, but I would say we're doing big things to celebrate her 10th year anniversary of the Napoli Ever After series. During that time, she was hoping, Trisha Thomas was hoping that it go into a movie. And shortly after, here we see, I hope I say her name right, Sanaa Lathan, if I say her name right.
Sanaa Lathan.
So that was my intro to that. So that was amazing as we were hoping for her to make that into a movie.
Miss Ellen, how long have you been in business doing what you do?
16 plus years.
Oh, wow. So let me make sure I recap that. 16 years ago, you made a decision to interview the author, but not just the author, but more so the book. And you started with people who might be brand new authors whose books are just come out, brand new, recently released. And now it has evolved into that, in addition to New York Times bestsellers.
Yes.
Excellent. Yes. So how many authors would you say, or how many books, if you had to give me a good estimate of, how many you've reviewed or been exposed to, or had the privilege of being able to interview, how many would you say?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say about 10.
Okay. 10 New York Times bestsellers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's good. That's really good. That is so great. So let me say something. It's important that people meet people like you. You fall in the category, Miss Queenie Clem, she's her own person. A lot of times people will say, I don't want to get involved in that aspect of the literary world. I don't want to pursue this particular, go this particular direction because there are other people that do it. Well, it's safe to say that you and Miss Queenie probably do something very similar. However, you have your own different twist on it. Is that safe to say, Miss Ellen?
Yes. Yes, that's safe to say.
So tell me why would I want to do work with you, or why would I want to do work with Miss Queenie or anyone else that's out there interviewing authors and or promoting books? Why would I want to do that as an author?
I would say for speaking for myself, you would want to do that because we personalize our events around you. We not only just do your book, we make sure that we have a personal relationship. And in that personal relationship, we get really not more than just a reader, author, a relationship. We get to know your books. Because a lot of times what happens is the reader generally walks away with a concept of this author is a part of this character in the book. And generally, sometimes they are sprinkled in there, but it's not them. And so I have this thing where authors plus readers equal smiles, equal profit. Because if you're an author and you can't blend or mash or make some kind of connection with your readers, you want that readership. And I've learned from doing this that reader is pretty much the backbone to the author, because who's reading the books?
Exactly. What is your take on those who choose to be self-published exclusively?
I think it's good if they would take the step, and because people think I'm an author, but I'm not, I'm in the trenches. If they would take the time to know that this is my baby. With this baby, I have to tend to this baby. I just can't push it out any kind of way because I want to be an author. Back then, it wasn't so popular to say you have an editor, story developer, and all those things. They were just writing books. And so that's what brings me into the newly published, because you have to care about this. You have to care that the reader cares about it. I always say this, in our mind, when we're reading the author's book, our mind tell us that word is missing. And so we get to read, and we're kind of editing in a way in our mind. And that's why we can say, okay, the book, but we had enough of it. So then we see there's a lot of errors, a lot of transposed things and different things like that. So it behooves the new writer or that's want to be self-published to get alongside of those main tools you need, editor, story developer, and don't just try to put that out there because you want your book on the shelf.
Yeah, that's good, Miss Ellen. I became acquainted with Chosen Pen Publishing back around 2017 because I was writing my first book. And of course, while I figured it was a self-help book, it was something for a tool for business owners. I knew what I knew the message I wanted to convey, and I knew that the information I provided was valuable, but I knew nothing about publishing. And so it was important to me in meeting Dr. Norma. I said, I'd like for you to review my manuscript, tell me what I need to change, and what do I need to do to actually get this out? Because I didn't want to just put the book out there. I wanted it to be a product of excellence. I wanted it to represent the standard of what publishing represents, and without even knowing what the standard was, if that made sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I knew how to make a cover. I created my own cover. I had a template I could use to, to download my manuscript into and make sure it was aligned. And I realized in having a conversation with Dr. Norma that there was a lot I did not know. And I'm so glad I took the path that I did. And since that time, because I'm very engaged in the whole world of publishing, I meet people who, as Wendy has made reference to, Miss Wendy Arsad. She says, hello. She says they don't want to pay for the service that's beneficial for them. And but that is the backbone, and it is. When you pay for the service, even if you try to self-publish, you need to have, we've had people say, oh, I've had it edited already, and we'll say, okay, well, great, let's get the manuscript. And what it was just proofread. It was not edited, and they don't know the difference. And so I commend those who choose to venture out on their own and have the courage to self-publish. But I would just prefer to connect, as you said, with someone who understands the process, who understands the standards, that can help me get through and make the necessary investments so that when people like you read my story, it shines bright. It represents with excellence, and you're not questioning whether or not, whether or not I did it the right way or the wrong way. But anyway, I wanted to get your insight on that from that side of the story, from that side of the finished product, because we at Chosen Pen to have these conversations with people at the onset. But because you look at the book on the back end, you can tell the difference between one that has been professionally done, or not necessarily, well, someone who had assistance to do it the right way versus someone who just winged it. Is that safe to say, Miss Ellen?
Yes, that's safe to say.
Yep, that's true. So let's talk a little bit about some books that you have. Now, Miss Ellen, let me just tell everybody, Miss Ellen is not an author, and so we have been promoting authors and their books. But because she brings a different flavor to the conversation, I was excited about having her, and she was intentionally placed as our last person to view or to have a conversation with. But Miss Ellen had books, and so I'm going to say this for her: do not charge it to her heart. I told her, Miss Ellen, we cannot talk about everybody's book today. Okay, we're gonna have to kind of limit it. So she was able to narrow it down to, I think she said, 2 novels and 2 self-help books.
Yes.
That's not to say she wouldn't recommend a plethora of other books that she's come into contact with. So listen, if you want to know more about the other books that she possibly would recommend, then I want you to find her on Facebook at ESP Presents, and you have a conversation with her independently after the show, as we say, and she'll, I'm sure, make some additional referrals. So, Miss Ellen, let's talk a little bit about those self-help books. You said you had 2.
Yes.
So tell me which of the 2. I'm gonna do my best to type the titles too, just in case they can't, see the name or hear or see the book clearly. I will type the title. So tell me the first book.
The first book here is PTSD.
Oh,
Combat related PTSD. This book here, really quick, can you see it?
Pull it up a little closer to the screen. You said the title is Combat Related PTSD?
Yes.
Okay.
In this book, we have, really quick, like we said, in this book, you have a wife who is married to a husband who has severe PTSD. Now, normally when you see a book about PTSD, you'll see informational. No, not Melvina. Melvina is very transparent. I asked her, well, what was this relationship like? She said tumultuous.
Oh, now the author's name is what?
In the book.
Give us the author's name.
Her name is Melvina Gray, and it's the Willie Gray story. Deep dive into this story because she tells it a very transparent from a wife's perspective.
So now what is it? What is the title of the book though? Is it combat related?
The book is combat related.
Okay.
PTSD. And the reason why it's combat related because due to war.
I got you. I get it. I get it. By Melvina Gray. Okay, I wanted to make sure I got the name correct so people could know where to go. Combat related PTSD by Melvina Gray. So this is a wife's perspective
of what it was like living with her husband who has severe PTSD.
Wow. Now I live in a military community, and I'm pretty sure I'm non-military, but I do know a lot of people that I've become acquainted with since living in the city of Fayetteville, North Carolina, that suffer with PTSD. So this book is is it a novel? No, not a novel.
It is a true story. It's a true story. What she did is she journaled throughout the whole relationship.
Wow, that's
so
really
it is
good.
her account of her experience, true experience with her husband. There's some red flags, and there's some, Melvina, you should have got out of this, but she stayed, and all to bring awareness of PTSD.
I love it. I love it. That's a good choice. That's a good choice, Miss Ellen. All right, so let's talk about this next one. The next book that you have available. Give me the title and the author's name, please.
Okay, so this next book is Kidney Matters, My Kidney, My Health, My Life. And in this story, it says, Why Not Me? And that is by Wallace Green Sr., who I happen to be really close with. He's bringing awareness to kidney disease. And so he had failed kidney, and he said, why not me? This book is more than just a book. This book here is a handbook to start a conversation with your doctor, to not allow the doctor to live for you, to take ownership of your health. Questions that you may not know how to ask a doctor, you can see on here. There's different pages that have that conversation. Whether this doctor treats you right, what is he saying in the conversation? How is he treating you when you go in that doctor's appointment? This is a well-equipped informational book that will show you how to guard your own health.
I love it. Thank you so much for those. So I have Kidney Matters, My Kidney, My Health, My Life by Wallace Green Jr. Are these
Wallace Green Sr.? I'm sorry.
Oh, did I say senior? Listen, let me put my glasses on. I'm trying to be cute, but I need to see. Okay, so Wallace Green Sr. Are these books available on Amazon?
Yes, they are.
Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, we ready, Miss Ellen. Now these next two are novels, right?
These next two are novels.
Now, are they gonna sweep me off my feet? Are those types of novels?
Yes,
all right, come on, bring it, Miss Ellen.
You may have heard of this one. I'm not sure if you guys have. This is by Jennifer Smith Turner. This book here, I see. It looked different for me. Can you see it?
Just tell me the name. I can see it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the name is Child Bride. This book is back in the oppression in the 1900s. You have Nell, who is a teenager, who her demise is you get married, you have a baby, and you're not to be educated. Nell was not going to take this. She stood up for herself. She wanted more than just being pregnant and not educated. She went beyond what was there for her. She has a wonderful mom and dad. Dad would tell her tools by using an apple and kind of talking to her, giving those family tools that we miss out on, by cooking. And she taught Nell how to cook. And Nell, she didn't make that biscuit right. It was too soft. Instead of berating her, she showed her what she did by say, feel this, feel that. Which one feels different? So that was salt, that was sugar. So she was letting her know and preparing her for adulthood. So I really like this book here, and it's another book coming out, but this is what we have right here.
Okay, give me that title again. Child Bride.
The title is Child Bride.
By?
And that is by Jennifer Smith Turner. You wouldn't want to put this down. Good book.
Oh wow. Okay.
And the last one, grand opening. You guys probably have seen this. Ready?
I don't know. Hold on a minute. Let me make sure I get this other one. Okay, Child Bride by Jennifer Smith Turner. And again, it's available on Amazon, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So book number 4. It's another novel, right?
House of Eve.
House of Eve.
Yep. That's Sadiqa Johnson.
Spell Sadiqa for me, please.
That's Sadeqa.
Sadiqa
Johnson. And I may have said it
Johnson.
myself. This book here, honey, number one, she is paving the way. In this book, you'll see two women and their lives kind of intersect, and you'll see in the story. But there's so much more to this story than what it says. You have Ruby, who what she wants to do, she wants to be educated. The first in her family to go to college. Her mom is just a single mom. All she think about is having a good man, and she don't want to do that. Ruby doesn't want to do that. And then you have Eleanor. Eleanor, she wants to get this big guy, William, who he's a light-skinned, Black, wealthy family, and she want to get into that family, even if it costs being pregnant. Hint, hint, there's a lot of stuff, and as the story go forward, you'll see a lot of things where there's segregation, where there's different things about women, how they treat women, and so you'll see a lot of stuff. So I really enjoyed that. So that's my 4.
All right, so let's recap really quickly because I don't want anyone to feel left out. And I was over here typing, and I'm trying to I want to make sure I give everybody their proper reps. So book number 1 was Combat-Related PTSD by Melvina Gray.
Yes.
All right, so book number 2 is Kidney Matters, My Kidney, My Health, My Life by Wallace Green Sr.
It is titled Why Not Me?
Why Not Me? Oh, wait. Is that the subtitle or the title?
This is the title, Why Not Me? And then the other titles is My Kidney, My Health.
Oh, let me fix that then because I don't want anybody to look for the wrong thing. Why not me? Why not me? A question mark. Kidney Matters, My Kidney, My Health, My Life.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I wanted to make sure I did that correctly. I apologize.
That's okay. I probably was just too excited.
No, I know you got excited like I got excited. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, book number 3 is Child Bride by Jennifer Smith Turner.
Yes.
All right, let's say that one. Let's see. Let me show that one. Again, book number 3, Child Bride by Jennifer Smith Turner. That is one that you said. And then, of course, the last one that you said, House of Eve by Sadiqa Johnson, book number 4.
Yes.
Okay. And all of them are available on Amazon, right?
Yes.
All right. So you guys heard it here first. Well, not necessarily here first, but you heard it. You heard it from Miss Ellen. She gave us 4 excellent options. And I love the variety of what you offered. So I do appreciate that. And there would have been much more. We've got some comments here. Let me see if anyone has questions. Okay. So you got your own fan club, Miss Ellen. Obviously, they knew you were going to be on here. Of course, Miss Queenie says, hey, Miss Wendy. And well, no, wait a minute. Wendy, okay, they talking to each other, honey. They not talking. Wait a minute. They supposed to be talking. Okay, yeah. So they did say we got Miss Queenie says, hello, book bestie. Miss Wendy Arsad. I hope I'm not mispronouncing. Right. She says hello. The re-entry of Gentry says, hey, y'all. Jacqueline Cox is on. She says hello.
Hello.
Okay. So then when we were talking about self-publishing, some others chimed in, like Miss Wendy Arsad said if they had someone to help them, it wouldn't have 1,000 typos in the script. And then of course Jacqueline Cox concurred with that. Miss Queenie is laughing at you. She's referring to you still as her book bestie. So that must be y'all's inside thing. Yes. Anyway, they were just chiming in there. Some of them are military wives. Miss Jacqueline Cox is a military wife. Wallace Green's book is very informational, Wendy Arsad says. Child Bride is a very good read. And then Miss Queenie says, OMG, all caps, with like 5 exclamation marks behind it. Child Bride, 4 more exclamation marks. And then the word whew, WHEW, all caps with about 4 or 5 exclamation marks behind it. So I would take that to mean she's a big fan of Child Bride.
Yes.
Wendy Arsad said the House of Eve will leave your mouth open. And then Wallace's Green is very informational. Thank you so much, you all, for chiming in. Thank you so much again, Miss Ellen, for accepting the invitation to even be our guest today. Is there anything you want to close out with? Anything that you want to share with the people who might be watching live and or watching the replay later?
Yes, I would like to share. First, I'd like to thank you so much for this opportunity. And I also want to, as you asked me that question about newly published, I want to say to those who are newly published, have patience, get your book in the right place, because you'll be spinning your wheels and spending your money all when you just could have done it at one place. Yes, it's going to be expensive for a good product, and you want a good product on the shelf. So do get the help that you need. Yes, it is your book, but you want your book to shine.
That's true
about that.
Thank you, Ms. Ellen. I appreciate that. I concur. I am so thankful that we connected with you, because we here at Chosen Pen, one of the things that we offer to our clients when we assist them with the publishing of their book, and I like to say that we help the self-publisher who has no clue on what they're doing. So we do it for them. Or we have those who do know what to do, but they just don't have the time. So they pay us to do the service. We take care of them. We don't maintain royalty rights. Our number one goal is to help them to create a quality product that meets the standards of excellence as subscribed by the publishing industry, so that when they finish, they can be proud of the fact that the book it looks good. And so when people read it, they not only enjoy the content of the story, but they look at it and they know it's a quality product. That's our desire. And so in having people like you as a part of our extended family, we know how important it is that once the book is published, you've got to have people out there cheering you on and being a champion of the product that you've created. And a lot of times, as stated in the comments and that you said before, they don't want to make the investment. But anything worth promoting, anything worth sharing with the world, you have to make the investment to do it, and it's worth it. And I love your analogy of it's your baby. It's your baby. You've got to take the time to do what's necessary to make sure that your book, you wrote it for people to read it, right? And then if you have people like yourself and Miss Queenie and others chiming in and being the voice, being your cheerleaders, I want to say in the background, is one thing for me to say my book is good. But when I have a lot of others that are out in the literary world saying the same thing, it adds credibility to the product that I provided and the product that I've completed. So I want to thank you for your dedication to helping those of us who probably don't know what to do, but we have you in our corner, so that makes things a lot better. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of our segment today. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us today, for carving out time to being a part of our conversations with Chosen Pen. We are here every Monday, typically every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Our number one objective is support authors, speakers, entrepreneurs. Our platform is all about literary excellence. We are very passionate about the literacy of children and adults, very passionate about supporting the world of free enterprise and supporting women, especially that are entrepreneurs, speakers. Our platform is broad, but one thing is certain. We believe that we are a vehicle to serve others. And so Chosen Pen, Conversations with Chosen Pen, is just one of those vehicles that we use to provide with the world, so that we can not only cheer on our sister friends or the people that may be publishing. Now, we do publish men books. Let me just back up. Men and women, but we tend to gravitate more to women than anything, but we do have men that we've assisted with publishing their books. We are a champion for the literary author, the speaker, the coach. We are part of the literary world. And so partnering with people like you, Miss Ellen and Miss Queenie and others, is just what we're supposed to do. It really is. We together make a stronger platform for the author. So this is it. Join us next week. We're starting a new month, the month of March. We're going to be talking about women making an impact. And so we're going to have a smorgasbord of guests for you to meet from various walks of life, and we're excited about it. But that being said, this is the end of our segment for tonight. Thank you once again for joining us. Don't forget to like this page. Don't forget to share this page, because we are looking for more followers. We want more and more friendly faces, more and more in 2024. Thank you again for joining us, and have a great evening.
Thank you.